Do you hear me? No? Don't worry, you're not alone. Many people don't listen to each other and then wonder how their relationship with their spouse, their friend, or their child went silent or out of hand. What can you do about it? Have you heard of active listening? It's especially useful if your child is struggling with the different transitions in their lives as well as with themselves as teenagers. Starting active listening, you might even start thinking that your child is a totally different person just because you changed your behavior towards them. Active listening can help prevent conflicts and potential misunderstandings. Here are some easy ways to make your communication with your child more effective and help them feel more valued.
First of all, face the speaker and have eye contact. Depending on where you usually get to talk to your teen, maybe you sit together at dinner or after school, maybe they're just yelling out of their room behind closed doors, but make sure you get some actual face time with your child. Eye contact is an important part of face-to-face conversation. You might have been in a situation yourself where you notice the other person is having something strange going on with their eye contact. It's because too much eye contact can be intimidating. So adapt to this situation that you're in. Try breaking eye contact every 5 seconds or so. To show you're listening attentively, look at one eye for 5 seconds, then the other eye for 5 seconds, then switch to looking at their mouth. When you look away, looking to the side or look up is better than looking down, which can seem like you want to close the conversation. Also, check your posture and make sure it's open. Avoid crossed arms, crossed legs, which can make you look closed or defensive, You might notice you want to move backwards or cross your arms immediately when somebody tells you something you don't necessarily like. So with your teen, try leaning slightly forward or sideways whilst sitting. That can show that you're listening, as is a slight tilt of your head or resting your head on your hand and nodding. Next, listen to nonverbal cues too. So pay attention to what your teen is saying with their body language when you talk to them. Facial expressions, tone of voice, gestures can tell you just as much as what is being said in words. There is also something called the finger theory, where you can see the underlying emotions depending on which finger someone touches and on which hand. But I guess that would be too much to go into right now. But I might make a YouTube video on that soon. Pay attention to what they're saying with their body language. Are they smiling, for example? Are their arms crossed defensively? Are they rubbing their eyes as if they're tired or upset? Even on the phone, you can learn a lot from the other person's voice, which might sound subdued or upbeat. There's so much to say about body language. I think I will make it its own video at some point soon. There's just so much to it. But let's continue with active listening. Next point is don't interrupt. Being interrupted, super frustrating for everyone, also for your child. It gives the impression that you think you're more important or that you don't have time for what they have to say. So you should make them want to open up to you, right? If you're naturally a quicker thinker or speaker, force yourself to slow down so that they can express themselves better. Remember, a pause or a few seconds of silence doesn't mean you have to jump right in. Letting your child speak will make it easier for you to understand their message too. So even interruptions that respond to something that they've said can be distracting if it means that the conversation gets sidetracked from what they were trying to tell you about. If this happens, steer the conversation back like, so you were telling me about... Try to stick with the topic until they actually got their message across. Next point, listen without judging opinions and solutions. I know this is difficult, but if you start reacting emotionally to what's being said, then it can get in the way of listening to what is said next. So try to focus on listening. Equally, don't assume that you know what your teen is going to say next. It's important to not impose your opinions or solutions. I know it's not always easy, but lending a listening, supportive ear can be much more rewarding than telling someone what they should do. So, when your teen has a problem, this is the time when they probably want to tell you how they're feeling to get things off their chest rather than get lots of advice about what they should be doing, right? Unless they are asking for advice, of course. This is often an issue in mixed gender conversations, like if you're a father or if you're co-parenting, because males are conditioned to offer solutions. And when they tell a story, they have a focus on how they solved an issue. Did you ever notice? Men tell a story like they solved an issue, whereas females often just want to have someone to listen to. And when females, first of all, they don't want to come across as lectury. And when they tell you a story, they make it about a personal struggle instead of how they solved the problem. So I find this very interesting. This is just to understand a situation better in case you are parenting with your spouse or wonder how they communicate in different ways. So my advice is, in a conversation, if you really must share your solution, ask first if they want to hear it. Say something like, "Would you like to hear my suggestion?" Next, don't start planning what to say next, because you can't listen and prepare at the same time. So what are you going to do instead? Show that you're listening, nod your head, smile, make small noises like yes or uh-huh. That shows that you're listening and encourages the speaker to continue. Don't look at your watch. Don't play with your hair, your fingernails. Definitely don't look at your phone. I know it can be hard to, especially in serious conversations, to keep your body language calm, but try to consciously be aware of it. Ask questions. Asking relevant questions can show that you've been listening and help clarify what your child told you. How do you do it? If you're not sure if you've understood correctly, wait until they pause and then say something like, "Did you mean that?" Or, "I'm not sure if I understood what you were saying about." This will help clarify. And you should also use open questions where you can, like, how did that make you feel? Or, what did you do next? Something that makes them want to continue talking to you. Last point, paraphrase and summarize. Have you ever been told you don't get it? I have. And to avoid that, start repeating what has been said. It really shows that you've been listening and allows your teen to correct you if you haven't understood. This may seem awkward at first, I get you, but it really shows you've been paying attention. And that's what your teen really wants. They want attention. So if you're not sure how to do this, try starting a sentence with, "Sounds like you're saying," and the answer should always be yes. So simply just repeat what they said whenever it's fitting. Let's say your teen said, "Then I thought what Jason said was ridiculous." And you could answer, "So you thought what Jason said was ridiculous?" It can be as easy as literally repeating what they said and put it in a question. Their answer should always be yes. The more they say yes, the more of a positive connection is established during a conversation. So should we continue? Yes.
Let me know if you found it useful or if you'd like to know anything else regarding your teen's academic success or mental health. If you want to try more strategies dealing with your teen, the recorded webinar is now free to access and you can get it with the link in the description. Thank you for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to hear from you. See you next time.